Hey kids, this is Simon. How you doing? Great song. Anyhow, I wanted to go over some of these RPG Day questions from 2016. You know, they were out in August, but I was doing some other stuff, and so I did not answer them. It wasn't even aware actually. I think I was looking at them a little bit, but just didn't have the time, or for whatever reason I didn't answer them. I didn't participate. Before I get going on some of these questions, I wanted to say that I saw Samuel G actually uploaded two videos today, which are both great. The post-apocalyptic or whatever it was, and those are pretty awesome. So I enjoy those quite a bit. And for whatever reason, I've been thinking about. I don't know if it's you call it in defense of being a casual gamer every once in a while, but it's certainly been me. It certainly is me now sometimes, where I just want to show up and roll some dice and whatever the game is about, and I want to participate. And I'm not really thinking all that gamist or simulationist or narrative or whatever it is. I'm not sure where I'm going with. I think it's just because some of my reactions to some of these questions. I question, what is my game style? What am I all about? Anyhow, I need progressives because these bifocals are not working on the screen at all. Getting older. Let me go down a few of these questions and see how many I can answer before this video gets too long and too boring. A little getting to know you. I really enjoyed that Robert the Narrator getting to know you video, by the way. That was good stuff. As was Same Old G's. Let's see. First question is real dice, dice app, dice list. How do you prefer to roll? I like dice. I just like, I don't know, call me old school or just old. I like holding my hand. Dice app is kind of neat. But I just there's something satisfying about watching them roll the whole 9 yards. Best game session. So number 2, best game session since August 2015. I would have to say I didn't get a chance to play a lot in the last year, but I was thinking about it, and there was a con I played in recently, and played with my friend Brian Scavera, was DM of an In Nomine game, which I've talked about a few times. And that was a lot of fun. And there was one moment I think that I was really thinking about at the time. And so I'll give you the really short version of this. We're all in that game. We were all, you can play angels or demons. So we're all playing angels, and we're on this mission. Essentially, there's some kind of thing going on where there's drugs killing a bunch of people, and so we're supposed to figure out what's going on there. And probably give you a couple examples during answering these questions. But there's this one moment, Brian's just great DM, and everybody's really getting into character because the various angels you have, it kind of gives you an idea of what they would be like. So everybody's really doing a good job getting into character. And we're in this club, and we're trying to find information out. And the owner of this club is this large male African-American cross-dresser. He's a drag queen called Gypsy Danger. And he keeps on talking about his chain sword. This little tip of the hat to what is that, Pacific Rim. So we're going on trying to figure out, we're trying to get some information, and we're trying various different ways. So there's this one angel, and their identity on Earth is as this prim and proper college professor, and it was a female, and I think older. So at one point, she decides, a guy's playing at this character, but she decides she's going to ask Gypsy Danger some stuff about the drugs, and she said, "Well, I know you really don't want to discuss this, or is this something that you're not used to discussing? But anyhow," and Brian just goes, "It's a chain sword." This is not what this guy was going to ask about. And I lost it to the point where they almost had to stop the game for a minute because I was laughing so hard. I don't know. That was just awesome. Very entertaining game session. Character moment I am proudest of. Well, I'll tell you what. I was going to use something else, but I'm going to use it from that session. And it's most proudest of lately. One that comes to mind. Same session, end of the game just about. And I'm playing this. I can't remember the character's name because they were all pre-gens. But she's an angel in service of Gabriel. And Gabriel is the angel of fire, and Gabriel is nuts, just absolutely, bat crazy, and for a couple of reasons. One of which is because she's the angel of fire, but there's also a demon of fire. She's the only one that has a demon that also has her shtick. But worse, after going and telling Mary she was going to give birth to Christ, she actually was God sent her to go dictate the Quran to Muhammad, and was ostracized by all the other angels. So she has just lost it. She's lost it. She's absolutely crazy. So at the end of this whole thing, we're split down the middle in terms of what we should do. We find out what's going on in this area, and half of the party wants to kind of leave it alone, say this is okay, You know, because I don't want to ruin the game because I think Brian's bringing around the cons, and half of us are like, no, this isn't okay. My character was manifestly not okay with this in any way, shape, or form, and it just in character. That would have been the appropriate thing. And so she, it's looking like it's not going to go her way. So she summons Gabriel, and does not go well. There's a little check die thing to see how well Gabriel's not in a good mood, and Gabriel ends up like nuking more or less the entire town, killing some of the party in the process. It was great because it was in character, and it was a con. It wasn't, it wasn't a jerk move on my part. It's what my character would have done. So I guess you had to beat her, but it was a blast. Man, most let's see, another most impressive thing another's character did. Oh man, I had something to tell. Recently I'm not thinking of anything. You know what? Everybody in that game, I'm cheating a little bit. Everybody in that game really got into character, including one, player that was playing I think it was a Seraphim, where they told the truth. This particular, of that particular angel, they told the truth, or archangel, they told the truth all the time, to the point where he was literally telling people what we were there for, that he was an angel, and that, he was 1,572 years old, It was great, and also played dumb because he was somebody that did not have an identity on Earth, so he had no idea what things like money were. He just, and it was good. We had a good time. Everybody was very much into character in there, so I was pretty impressed in general. Let's see. Number 5. What story does your group tell about your character? Not sure. I mean, I can tell you the stories they told about Duras the Wizard back in the day, and Duras the essentially Duras the child molester. That was not something I wanted him to be. That was just a offhanded remark I made one time about he's not somebody you want around with, hanging around your sister. We introduced a new player to the game, and then he became, everybody just kind of ripped me about that. And sorry if that's a trigger for you. And I have 2 girls. I'm a father. I find that stuff reprehensible. But yeah, he did get his revenge at some point. But that's a different story. Number 6, most amazing thing a game group did for their community. I really have no good experience with that, so I can't say. 7, what aspect of RPGs has had the biggest effect on you? I have to think about that a little more. I don't know. Not really sure off the top of my head. I'll go back to that. Number 8, hardcover, softcover, digital. What is your preference? Like hardcover. Wasn't really a fan. I got some Lulu hardcovers of some stuff, and wasn't a fan of the quality, to be honest with you. So that's a dig at Lulu. But I like a hardcover better than a softcover, and I like PDFs. I like the whole bookmark thing. That's great, but I have a hard time reading them. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm old. I like physically holding a book in my hand. Number 9. I don't want to make this video too long. Beyond the game, what's involved in an ideal session? Good people. Good people. It's not only do you have to know thyself, but know thy peers. And sometimes you realize that you're not a good fit. Sometimes you realize that not all of us are a good fit for that game. Know thy peers, I think would be a good one. So good people, and good people are invaluable, worth their weight in gold. Largest in-game surprise I've experienced. I've talked about this before, but I played in the Lamentations of the Flame Princess game. So I'm cheating. This is going back, several years now, where my first character died. I had to leave. I had to go to a gig or a practice or something like that, and the session went on, and the party discovered this tomb. They awakened these 2 guys that turned out to be high-level NPCs that we had to deal with later on. And what happened though was the DM ended up these guys were going to waste the entire party. The DM kind of intervened, and had some stuff go on, and we'll call it DM fiat. But the bottom line was that a deity intervened a little bit, and it caused the party some trouble later on. But the deal was that the 2 NPCs they awakened couldn't remember them. Unless certain things triggered them, which got triggered later on. And also, the party was forbidden to speak of it. Now, the cool thing was, none of the players told me for months what had happened until we got in this situation. And I think I have a video out there called When Bad Things Happen to Good People, or Good Gamers. You can find out what happened. It's from years ago. And I didn't know until then that this was going on. It was amazing that they never told me. Kudos to them, because I loved it. We had to run for our lives and we lost everything, but it was great. Which gamer most affected the way you play? That's a tough one too. I really have to think about that. I really have to think about that. There's so many. And number 12, that was 11. Number 12, what game is your group most likely to play next? Why? Well, I'm gonna run some Ubiquity finally, which would be great. So probably Desolation. So that should be some fun. And man, going back here, what aspect of RPGs have the biggest effect on you? That was number 7. You know, I don't know. This video's getting long already. I think it was just, you know, I could be wrong, but just realizing this possibility that I could have some agency over a story that I found cool and exciting. You know, I wasn't sure that I would ever be an author. You know, it was something I kind of aspired to at you know, times, and maybe I'll write a book. But the idea that, like, I don't necessarily need to create an entire story, an entire event, an entire cool thing, you know, that I can be a part of it, and I can have control over part of it, either as a game master, where, you know, other people actually go ahead and fill in all the blanks, or as just one character in a world. In a dynamic world. I didn't think of it that way at the time, but the fact that, you know, wow, I like these stories, and now I can actually participate in one, and, you know, have creative impact in that. I don't think I put it in those words, you know, when I was 13 years old, but that was cool. That was groundbreaking, you know, for me. That, yeah, okay, maybe you know, so I won't be an author, maybe I will be one day, but I can still have this creative input in a really cool story. So that's 12 of them. And so the video is probably too long. It's getting up on 12 minutes, so I won't bug you too much more. So that's it. My name's Ivan, and I'll talk to you later. Man, Led Zeppelin, yeah.